Hey guys, it's your girl Tasha, still YGT, but I'm coming to you right now as your hope pusher, and I believe that one conversation can help somebody move from where they are to where they want to be. And while every conversation isn't for everybody, my hope is that every conversation is for somebody. So let's talk about it. Today's conversation is about something that I think a lot of people actually struggle with, but we don't always talk about it. Again, the conversations that we don't have, right? And that topic today is being a good person doesn't mean being an available person. I'm going to say that again. Being a good person doesn't mean being an available person. And some of y'all probably feel some kind of way when you hear that, right? When I said that, you felt some kind of way. Because somewhere along the way, many of us were taught that being a good person means that we're always saying yes, right? Being a good person means that we're always willing to help. Being a good person means that we're always going to answer the call when the phone rings, right? Being a good person means that we're always going to show up, or that we're always going to fix something. We're always going to give something. And in the case that we decide not to do those things, then somehow that means that we're selfish, we're mean, or like what people say when you finally tell them no when you haven't been telling them no all the time. Oh, you change, right? But here's the question that you really have to evaluate and you really have to pay attention to. What happens when being available for everybody starts costing you your peace? What happens when you look at your phone and you already know why somebody is calling? You know it's not because they want to check on you. You know it's not because they miss you. It's not because they just wanted to hear your voice. But it's because they want something. And let me just say, before anybody gets upset, there's no problem with a person needing help. We all need help sometimes. When a person needing help becomes a problem is whenever that relationship becomes one-sided. And the only time there's communication is when there's a need. So hear me correctly. I'm not saying that if I do something for you, you got to do something for me. I'm saying don't just call me when you need me to do something for you. I mean, when that person is calling and you already know what they're calling from, when that person is calling and you already know what they are calling for, and that conversation is going to have some kind of favor attached to it, they're going to make some kind of request, they're calling to ask you to do something for them, I mean, it gets a little bit interesting at that point, right? Because at that point, that's when we get frustrated with people. But if we're really honest, sometimes that frustration isn't really about them. Again, that frustration is about us. And the reason why we're frustrated, had that whole live about we mad because we know what it is and we haven't changed it. Okay, it's because they've shown us who they are. And the question becomes, why do we keep expecting something different when a person shows you who they are? You got to think about Maya Angelou and her quote on that one, right? Why do we expect any kind of reciprocity from someone who's never consistently offered it? Expectations. Why are we expecting friendship from someone who has only shown us that they're going to show up when it's convenient? Okay? They're not going to show up when it's hard on them. They're not going to show up when they got to give up something to do it. Why do we keep getting disappointed by clear patterns that we already recognize in people? In the past, that's actually been a hard lesson for me, because I genuinely love to help people. Not genuinely, I genuinely love to help people. Remember, movement is how I love on people. I recently did a video talking about that. I love connecting people. I love encouraging people. I love supporting people. I love showing up for people. I mean, I was just out there yesterday helping a candidate running for elections, right? Volunteering, not getting paid. That's just who I am. But one of the lessons I had to learn is that loving people doesn't mean carrying people. And caring about people doesn't mean giving everyone unlimited access to my time, my energy, or my peace. Some of us really have to stop confusing kindness with availability. Those two things are not the same thing. You absolutely can be kind and still have boundaries. You can be loving and still say no and oh. You can care about someone and still not have the capacity to even help them, right? And I think that one's important. I'm going to say that one again. You can care about someone and still not have the capacity to help them. And that is totally okay. One of the healthiest sentences you can learn is, I don't have the capacity for that right now. And I'm going to tell you, I had to say that to a few people recently, and it's the most empowering sentence. I don't have the capacity for that right now. There's no long explanations behind it. There's no guilt behind it. There's no argument behind it. There's no apology behind it. It's just about being authentically me, which also means just being honest. Because here's the real truth, guys. Everybody doesn't belong in the same place in your life. There's some people who are actually close friends. There's some people who are just acquaintances. There are those people who are the networking contacts, right? And some people, you can help them from time to time. The actual problem comes when we keep promoting people into positions that they never ever demonstrated that they were qualified to hold. Just think about that. And then when we get hurt because they're not acting like the friend we imagined them to be, doesn't mean that they're a bad person, right? Maybe they just not who we thought they were. Maybe they weren't taught any better. And perhaps boundaries isn't for them. maybe the boundaries is actually for us. I mean, shoot, ain't no maybe. The boundaries are actually for us. So what I need you to think about, guys, is when that person calls you, the person with the pattern, and you get frustrated, who are you really frustrated with? And is that frustration coming from their behavior? Because, see, you already know who they are. They showed you over and over again. Or is it coming from an expectation you continue to place on them, despite the evidence that they showed you that they cannot fulfill the expectation that you have? Because being a good person doesn't mean being an available person. What it means is learning how to care for others without abandoning yourself. It means helping when you can, saying no when you need to say no, and absolutely understanding that protecting your peace doesn't make you selfish. It doesn't make you mean. It doesn't mean that you changed. It means you're responsible to yourself. And if today's conversation was for you, remember, every conversation is not for everyone, but I hope every conversation is for someone, right? I hope it helps you move from where you are to where you want to be. It's your girl, Tasha, YGT. Remember, you got this. Only being BAM, being authentically me. Y'all have a great day. Later.